Hey everyone, today I am doing, what I don't know if it'll be super popular since I usually do indie brands, but I was going to do a dupe the vibes for the, not really new anymore, but new-ish Natasha Denona quads, like the Luxe Glam quads. And I picked the cool toned one because that's the stuff I have and that's what I gravitate towards. Also, as you can see, I changed my setup. I lost some of the natural light and it's mostly ring light, so you'll have to let me know how you feel about this. It's a little janky for me. It's not ideal, but maybe you guys will like the forward-facing setup better. So you have to let me know. But yeah, so what I've got to dupe the vibes, that Natasha Denona palette is pretty basic. You do not need it. If you have neutrals in your collection at all, you don't need it. And it's like really expensive too for what it is. I know some people were arguing like, oh, it's the big pans, but still, like, for slightly more, you can get one of her bigger palettes, which I feel like is a better deal. I know some people aren't supporting the brand right now due to, I forget what it is. I think it's because something to do with like Israel ties. I didn't look too far into it. I don't buy Natasha Denona anyway because it's not out of my price range per se because a lot of indie brands are also that expensive, but I would rather spend my money on indie brands because you get more you get like multi-chromes and trichromes and holographics for that price as opposed to Natasha Denona, which is like less interesting shimmers and stuff. So I haven't looked into it much. But yeah, just know I've seen some discontent over the brand. So yeah, another reason to dupe it, I guess. So for me, duping it today, I'm gonna use my Huda Beauty Pretty Grunge. Again, another brand that people are not wanting to support and I'm not supporting, but I'm using what I have. So the Natasha Denona has like a mid-tone darker brown and a lighter brown, and I'm gonna use these two shades right here, which fit the bill for that. And then for the two shimmers in that, I actually don't have exact dupes because those are very kind of metallic-y looking. They're very like shimmer, and I don't do shimmer. I do sparkly shimmer. So I have, I'll hold it sideways so you can read it hopefully. I have the Urban Decay Moondust in Lithium, which if I open it, I don't know if you can see with the ring light especially, it's a very sparkly, cool toned like pewter color. So I have that, and then I have much cheaper, the cheapest thing of all this, I have Colourpop Supershock in Ritz, which is, I don't know if it's a cool tone, it's kind of like a neutral like champagne-y color with silver in it, like silver glitters. It's not like cool toned per se, but I feel like the Natasha Denona palette isn't the most cool toned because I've seen swatches of it and it looks very warm toned on some people. So I feel like if I swatched it on me, it wouldn't be very cool toned looking. And I know on plenty of people it wouldn't be very cool toned looking. So we're just gonna go with what I have, and it's these. I'm gonna make a very simple look, I feel. I'm probably going to do basically the light brown in my crease, the deeper brown on the outer V, and then I'm going to do lithium mostly on my lid, and then I'm gonna do Ritz on the inner corner, brow bone, and I'll probably bring it down a little bit and up a little bit, so it's got that little sparklies, which is a darker look than a lot of Natasha Denona people do, like people who like Natasha Denona. I know a lot of people who like Natasha Denona do a lot of like everyday work safe looks. That's not really my jam, but I know some people who like Natasha Denona do lighter looks. That's not really my jam, so if you were looking for that, I'm sorry. I could easily do a lighter look, but I'm sure there are plenty of other YouTubers who do lighter looks, so not really my demographic, I'm sorry. So yeah, we're going to do that. So I have primed my eyes already. I've done my base already. I've got everything on. Don't mind the zit sticker, I have a zit. It's mostly gone, but I'm trying to keep it away from the gross makeups. So we're gonna get started. Okay, so I'm going to just take that lighter brown, and I'm sorry, I'm not used to the setup. I'm gonna try to keep, I only have this mirror Oh, sorry, I shouldn't show you that. I only have this mirror. I'm gonna try to keep it out of the way so you can see what I'm doing, but I can't see myself, so trial and error. So I'm gonna hold it over here and kind of try to like, I'm gonna try to like angle so I can see and you can still see. So I'm just gonna put it in my crease. And I love this shade because for me, it's a really like perfect, it's a little darker than like a lot of people like for crease shades because it's, yeah, it's got like depth and it's like, it shows up obviously on me. As you can probably see, it's not a skin tone shade good for blending. This palette has one of those and I could use it, but I don't like using that. I like going bold. That's why this shade has huge pan in it and the skin tone shade has barely any use. So I'm just gonna do that on both eyes and then we can do the next shade. Also, this is going to be a very grungy look. I do a lot of grungy looks. If you've been following me for a while, if you watch a lot of my videos, which I know some of you seem to do, which is awesome by the way, thank you. I tend to do like messier, grungier makeup. That's just what I like, so. Okay, so now I'm gonna do that darker shade and I'm gonna put that in the outer V, just like so. And if you notice, I don't know how it looks, in this lighting for me, it definitely looks cool toned, which is sweet, which is why I like this palette. It's a little more cool toned without being gray, although I do wish this palette had a gray in it. Like it's got a peach in it, which I freaking hate. It's so ugly on me. I wish the gray was, or the peach was replaced with a gray. Also, I really hope you can't see my mirror. But yeah, I'm just outer V, just like that. And it's a little messy, but it's okay. I'm just gonna do that to the other eye quick, and then Shazam, we can move on. Okay, so I've got that done, both eyes. And now I'm going to add the shimmers. And you know, I was looking at the swatches of the Natasha Denona, and the shimmers, at least the pewter shimmer, kind of reminded me of that Patrick Ta, like the duos. I forget what the one it was. I think it's like She's in the Club or something. It was one I was kind of eyeing, and like those are ridiculous and they're like expensive and I don't need it, but I kind of want it. But it kind of reminded me of that. So I'm gonna take this shimmer, which is sparkly and not a one-to-one, but I'm just gonna use my finger like so. See, or here, wait, see, this is what it looks like. And I'm just going to put that on my lid. I'm not gonna use a primer, and I'm just gonna put that on. Also, to talk you out of those Patrick Ta ones, if you have Urban Decay Lithium, you don't need the Patrick Ta one, because it's literally the same thing and it's cheaper. It's how I talk myself out of wanting it, even though, like, no, it's so ridiculous. Okay, so yeah, I've got that. I'm just gonna do it to the other eye. And also in this light, I don't know how it's picking up on camera, but it's very sparkly, which I don't know if that Natasha Denona is that sparkly, because in the swatches I saw of the Natasha Denona, it wasn't sparkly, it was metallic. So if you want to do it for the metallic-iness, I don't have that because I don't gravitate towards metallics. But if you want something that's a little more like going out party sparkly, this will get you that. But this is just me being like, you know, I don't need it. I have this stuff, so I have similar-ish colors. Okay, so now the Colourpop Supershock, I'm also going to use my finger because these work best with fingers, and that's what it looks like. I don't know if it's necessarily a one-to-one, but also that one on swatches also looked it looked a little shinier, and it may have had a little sparkle. I don't think it was a one-to-one to the Colourpop. Yeah, I'm just gonna bring it up and bring it down. I still have to do my under eye, I know. I'll do that in a minute. I'll probably have to go back in with the Ritz. But yeah, see, that's the sparkliness. I don't know how close I am, but which is really pretty. So yeah, now I'm just gonna go do my under eyes, which super basic. I'm just gonna Oh, if I can get this open. I'm just gonna go back with a smudgy brush. I guess I didn't show you the other brush I used. The other brush I used was this, which is just like a big smudgy shader. Is it a shader? Yeah, it's a shader. They're both from Moda. They're basically the brushes I use all the time. And I'm just gonna put that dark brown out here and just gently smudge it along my lower lash line. Nothing crazy. Do the same over here. And then I'm going to go into Lithium, and I'm going to use that same brush, and I'm gonna smudge it in the front here. And I'm gonna do that both sides. And when I smudge it like this, you don't really, well, at least me holding it this far away, the mirror this far away, and like this lighting, I don't really get this much of the sparkle. It's mostly just darkness, kind of looks like a slight metallic brown on the bottom. And then after I do that, I'm going to take that light brown and I'm gonna use this brush, which is a Blend Bunny brush. It's one of their like blending brushes from their pack. And I'm going to take that light brown and I'm just gonna blend. I'm gonna blend a little bit. And I will say, holding my mirror this far away, I'm kind of blind and the lights are very blinding. So, okay. I just double checked real close up and it looks fine. That is what I did for that. So this is what I've got. I hope I'm properly in frame because I can't see myself. And this is the first time I am using this. But, so yeah, that's what I've got. This is how it looks. Yeah, pretty grunge. Lithium, Ritz. Very simple. I feel like it gives the look, or a look you could get from Natasha Denona, the cool toned Luxe Glam quad, but maybe a little more sparkly versus pewtery, or sorry, not pewtery, versus like metallic-y. But yeah, I'm gonna go off camera and I'm going to do my mascara, my liner, my lipstick, my brows, etc. And then I'll come back and we can talk about it, okay? Okay, I'm back. And as you can see, I finished my face. So let's talk about it. I did some really basic stuff, but so I did, for my waterline, I did this Essence Long Lasting Eye Pencil in Hot Chocolate. $2 US dollars, basically. This is more of a cool tone brown. Mine's kind of drying out, but it gets the job done still. And I feel like it goes good with the like cool tone brown look. I did a wing because I like doing wings, and I just did the basic NYX Epic Ink Liner. Black, this. I did also my only black mascara, Benefit BadGal Bang. I have the mini right now. And then for my brows, today I went with a slightly different brow, but I'm still doing bleach brows. I did the, what is this? Ooh, the ring light's making it hard to read because it's shiny. Sephora Instabrow Waxy Brow Pencil, and it's the blonde one. So it's just got like the little, that thing, and then it's got the little brush. And then for my lips, I went with like a Greige like lip tone. It's a little pink, it's a little brown. I went with MAC Greige Lip Pencil. Also not supporting MAC currently, but I'm using up what I have. So I have that. And then for my lipstick, this little tiny boy, it is the Melt Laced Lipstick, which looks like that. So that's a pretty fun combo. It's very pretty. So that, yeah, you can see. That is the look I did completed. So basically, let's talk about it. You don't need the Natasha Denona palette, honestly, any of them. Like, if you have neutrals, you have this. If you have Natasha Denona palettes, like, you obviously have this. Like, I feel like all of these colors, all of these shades are in her palettes from what I was looking at. I mean, maybe not exactly do, like, repeats, but I feel like they're in her palettes, right? Like, it's basic neutrals. If these were quads that were in, like, interesting colors or, like, new formulas, like, interesting formulas, maybe, but honestly, no, like, You don't need them. I mean, if you haven't tried Natasha Denona and you use quads and you don't use big palettes and it's the money's not a problem for you, okay, that's fair. Then you can get that. I mean, that's a valid thing. Like obviously I'm not trying to tell you what to do with your money. You can do whatever. I don't care. But I'm just saying, like, if you're trying to dupe the vibes, it's very easy to do for these neutrals. And even if you don't get it exactly, like, do you need exactly? Like, I did this look, I feel like it's very similar to what I could do, and I'm happy with it. Like, I don't need that palette. Obviously, I wasn't going to buy it anyway. I find it to be out of my price range, something I'm not willing to pay for. If I was going to buy something from that brand, I would buy one of the bigger palettes because I feel like it's a better deal. And I just personally prefer bigger palettes so I have more options. Even though if you look at my palettes, like the one I held up, I don't hit pan on all of the shades, which that's a me problem. I tend to pick things that I like and stick with them. So maybe a quad would be better for me, but I tend to find that I don't use all the shades in a quad either. So, but yeah, I mean, let me know down below. Are you going to pick up one of these palettes? Like, because I think there's 4 of them. Are you going to pick one up? Have you picked one up? Because I think they've been out for a while now. Are you going to dupe the vibes? Like, do you have a bunch of Natasha Denona? Like, let me know down below. Do you like the brand? Because like I've heard great things. I always hear the formula's fantastic, and I've never tried it. I've been kind of interested in the like long 5 pans, because she's got some of those, and I just haven't been like, oh, this is the one I like, oh my god, need. Because those are I think they've gone up, but those were priced a little more like what I was willing to pay. But yeah, that was more my speed. But again, Natasha Denona is not really my jam because it's mostly neutrals, and I have that Huda palette, and that's kind of like my neutral thing. So yeah, let me know down below what you think. If you like this content, give me a like, give me a subscribe, or not. I'm just doing it for fun, and I'll see you in the next one. Okay, bye.